Ladies and gentlemen and attendees, this is Dr. Atif Fareed Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. I hope everyone is doing well. This presentation is the transformation or the transformational role of the artificial intelligence in our everyday life. So I am a senior research scientist with Kerecis Incorporated in Los Angeles, California, and we conduct mental health, behavioral health studies and interventions related work. However, at UNC Charlotte, University of North Carolina at Charlotte, I am the artificial intelligence and machine learning professor and happen to be the first one to create in the United States of America and Canada blockchain system architecture course. This, however, talk is purely on the use of artificial intelligence. As you can see on the screen, the AI makes machines capable of learning from experience, adapt to new inputs. So you can read these on your convenience. There's an agent, there's an environment. In real life, agent is a human being, and the environment is, whether it's supply chain, trucking industry, manufacturing, or agriculture. That is the environment where, as an agent, as a human, we behave as an agent. However, artificial intelligence brings in the devices to work with intelligently rather than bringing a human input. The applications can be found, the link is given of the datamation.com. Of the AI, there are so many running factors, including predictive analytics, text-to-speech, image recognition. If there are any doctors in the audience, the physicians and surgeons, they actually deal with the sonographs, the radiograms, and all those doctoral needs for the human inspection of the body for some sort of sickness and all that, extraction of the details. So that's one of the image recognition part. The other one could be the radar utilization or a satellite pictorial representation from the Oculus clouds on top rather than from the Earth's surface. So that's tons of data points which they have to make a decision, and that's where the human is involved. However, in the artificial intelligence world, we have to make machine understand how the work is happening. So as we used expert systems before, we did planning and optimization of our current work processes. Natural language processing, when we talk, what are the major indicators of our tone, where we set and how we work with it, are few of the applications of the artificial intelligence. History I'm not going to go through. You can read Russell Norvig's book Artificial Intelligence, and that is pretty deep with complete historical references available, that when in 1960s it started, and I repeat, I imitate, I learn to learn, and I contribute, I exchange up to 2022, which we are looking at IBM Watson or the Alexa of Amazon and Google Home. So since I primarily deal with the healthcare, so there is a healthcare application example available here. There are tons of documentation available for us to look into as a human, but what a machine has to do, that's where the AI process flow kicks in, where we scan the documents and put them for a machine to diagnose from those documents what is the common factor associated to those documents in terms of input. And observation comes in terms of the treatments that have been provided to those similar patients in similar disease to eradicate the infections and all that, and how the results came out, positive or negative. As you're aware, if it is positive in a hospital, that means that there is some sickness, and negative is good there. However, in real life, negative is usually considered wrong. So the data science virtual machine, or the incorporation or embodiment of big data, where we use Cloudera, Hortonworks, MapR, all these Hadoop to collect the data, and where we can implement on top of it the machine learning from Spark, the ML libraries such as SciPy, NumPy, and all those. The deep learning libraries available like Solar and Elasticsearch to extract features for the classification of the data sets is the main component of the artificial intelligence virtual machine to look into what it is dealing with. So original set, as we know in our middle school, high school, and later in college, we work with set membership, and we work with derivatives, we work with matrices, determinants. So it all starts from set membership and it goes on till we derive what the potential result could be, and the incorporation of statistical methods such as major central tendency, major dispersion, regression, multi-level regression, multi-logistic regression. However, the predictive models usually utilize several things at one time, and that's why we have to have training set, test set separated, so we can do validations of our learning for our machine to actually give us some positive results. So AI diagnosis happens within this defined metaphor of modeling that starts from system and gives us some results. However, data requirements is the main ingredient. If we don't have before the fact data, how on earth we can go for the after the fact data? That is Bayesian learning, and that's part of the AI diagnosis to figure out what we are getting to. The data requirements are technically a variety of the data, the quality of the data, and the velocity of the data, since we are living in the streaming world of the data. And the data science hierarchy needs AI and deep learning as the top of the pyramid, as you can see on the screen. The base data comes from the instrumentation, logging, and sensors, and external data sets which other people actually create. Like if there are several people walking in a big box store for shopping, it's not necessary to buy everything. They just buy a few handful things. However, they look at several things, but we cannot extract the behavior that towards those things which they did not buy. Will they buy it in the future? Artificial intelligence can predict that. In healthcare, there are tons of ingredients for a healthcare recipe to bring someone health, and this is where you look into several bots working in terms of artificial intelligence chatbots, in terms of monotonous tasks done by RPAs, robotic process automation, the treatment design or the intervention, when to have an intervention for someone to get healthy, whether that person can be healthy without going through a prescriptive medication or opioid prescriptions, without any antibiotics. So how to do it? There are so many ingredients, but AI can make a decision once it has before the facts data available. Mental health is one example where grief, stigma, risk, awareness, anxiety, depression, and all these things are there. However, how do we know a person has a mental health issue? This is an up-and-coming area where self-harm, trauma, and it can create havoc for a society, and we are looking at that among our neighborhoods, that how to deal with this. There is no prescription, no treatments or interventions available or readily available in the market. So AI is a place where we look into machine learning and deep learning algorithms to work with. For mental health, this is 24/7 if it is coming in through a chatbot or an RPA bot, and that is AI, not a human psychiatrist. There are none 24/7 availability of the psychiatrists in the healthcare field anywhere in the globe. Mental health, One of the things that I utilize personally is GRU, or the gated recurrent unit. It's sort of neural networks. However, there are input layer to the output layer. You can see that there are gated layers where we can allow few gates to open and produce results, not all the gates, exactly like in the dams when the electricity has been produced. So that's a similar phenomena. It can be positive, negative, or it can be both positive and negative, neither positive nor negative, however, somewhere in the middle, as you can see in the Twitter datasets or in the mental health datasets. So the mental health explanation, the framework for transferring knowledge from social media domain to the mental health, I would urge you to look into that. I chewed my fingernails, I did some skin picking, I tried doing some of the breathing exercises which worked while I did them. However, after that, I don't know what happened to the patient. This is the only record that we get in terms of Twitter or something like Facebook or some other social media. I wrote in my journal and read till I was tired enough to fall asleep. Like a mathematics book is a good book to read if you can't sleep on timely fashion. So thank you for your time. I would urge you to read Russell and Norwig's book and their research work. You are most welcome to read my research work that is available on Google Scholar. This is Dr. Atif Farid Muhammad, or in regular way that we say Dr. Atif Farid Muhammad or Muhammad Atif Farid, whatever. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'll urge you to connect and make sure that your students read, not copy, not cut and paste. Thanks for your time.